Hello, I am Vaibhavi. Today we are going to discuss definition of audit and scope of audit. Audit. Explain the definition of audit and scope of audit. Audit and audit is a systematic examination or review of a process, system, organization, or set of financial statement to evaluate its accuracy, effectiveness, and compliance with established standard or regulations. Audits are conducted by qualified professionals known as auditors who assess and provide an independent opinion on the reliability and fairness of the information being audited. There are different types of audit including financial audit, operational audit, compliance audit, and information system audit. Each type of audit focuses on specific aspects of an entity activities, and the goal is to provide assurance to stakeholders that the subject matter being audited is reliability and in compliance with relevant standards and regulations. Scope of audit. The scope of an audit defines the boundaries and extent of the examination. It outlines the specific objectives, areas, and elements that will be covered during the audit process. The scope is typically determined based on the purpose of the audit, the goals set by management or regulatory bodies, and the risks associated with the subject matter. The scope of an audit can include various aspects such as financial transactions, internal control, compliance with law and regulations, operational efficiency, and more. It is crucial for auditors to clearly define and communicate the scope to all relevant parties involved in the audit process. In summary, the audit provides an independent and objective evaluation while the scope of the audit outlines what will be examined and the boundaries of the examination. Both elements are essential in ensuring that the audit process is effective and that stakeholders can have confidence in the reliability and compliance of the subject matter under review. Explain the scope of audit. The scope of an audit refers to the specific objectives, areas, and activities that an auditor plans to examine during the audit process. It defines the boundaries and extent of the audit, outlining what will be included and what may be excluded from the examination. The scope is typically determined based on the audit's purpose, the goals set by management or regulatory bodies, and the risk associated with the subject matter. Key components of the scope of an audit include 1. Audit objective. Clearly defined objectives that the audit aims to achieve. These objectives are often aligned with the overall goal of the organization or specific requirements set by regulatory bodies. Audit criteria. The standards, policies, procedures, and benchmark against which a auditor will assess the subject matter. These criteria provide a basis for evaluating the accuracy, effectiveness, and compliance of the entity being audited. Audit areas. Specific departments, process, functions, or financial accounts that will be subject to examination. The auditor identifies the critical areas relevant to achieving the audit objectives. 4. Time frame. The period covered by the audit. This could be a specific financial year, a project timeline, or any other defined period relevant to the auditor's purpose. Materiality their shoulder. The level of significance that determines where a particular item or error is considered material and therefore requires attention. Materiality threshold helps auditors focus on issues that have a meaningful impact on the subject matter. Geographic scope. In the case of multinational organizations, the scope and include activities across different locations or subsidiaries. Documentation and evidence. The type of evidence and documentation that will be examined to support the auditor's findings and conclusions. Exclusions. Any specific areas or aspects that will not be covered by the audit. Exclusions may be due to practical limitations, immateriality, or the availability of information. It hope you understand concept of definition of audit and scope of audit.